Unless you live under a rock, then you probably know that we are in recession right now. Sorry, correction. That depends on which country you're from. But nevertheless, a global recession is and will happen. Economy will collapse thanks to a global pandemic that has been happening since the beginning of 2020. Now, if you're anything like me, then you probably do not care if the economy collapses or how the world is going to run. Because all I care about, and many other people, is how this is going to affect me. If I have a job, will I still have a job? If I run a business, how badly will this impact my industry? And most importantly, how will this affect me financially? So in this video, I want to talk about what you can do today to protect and prepare yourself for this recession. And trust me, if you think things are bad now, it will only get worse after the pandemic is over. And I will get to that in a minute. But before that, if you're new here, do consider subscribing to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button down below. And also make sure you turn on notification. I post videos once or twice a week and I share my mistakes and experiences, whether they are life experiences or work experiences or any silly mistakes I regret making. By watching my channel, you will be able to avoid the stupid things I did, saving you years of efforts and time and making you much more successful than me at a much younger age. So just a quick introduction. My name is Kevin, I'm a software engineer and I run my own mobile apps business. I have built hundreds of apps for the App Store and Google Play, several of them were featured, dozens of them were in the top 10 paid apps, and one of them hit the #1 top paid apps in the App Store. So with that said, let me tell you something about the current recession in layman terms. I'm going to keep it simple, I'm not going to throw in any numbers or big economy jargons, because I don't know much about the jargons either. All I care about is how this is going to cause an impact to people like us who are just trying to make a living. So recession basically means an economy decline, which means things like business activities have been drastically reduced. And when businesses slow down, so will their cash flow. Without hitting their targeted cash flow, whether it's monthly or weekly, then they might not have enough money to sustain their business long term. So what do you think is going to happen if a company is running low on funds? They start to downsize or restructure, as most companies like to call it because it sounds cool. This also means if you're working for that company, then you have an increased chance of losing your job, which sucks. And this is when people start to panic because if they lose their job, then they're losing their main source of income, which means they'll have trouble paying for their mortgage or rent, or in some worst cases, they might even have trouble paying for their food maybe. This in return causes a bigger economical stress for the country, and most likely the government would step in at this point in time and offer some relief fund or stimulus package. So that's recession in a nutshell. But you're not here for this crap. You're here to find out how this affects you and what you can do right now so that you can minimize the impact as much as possible. So here are a few things I would recommend you to do. Number 1, take the chance to skill up. Remember when I said things are just going to get worse when the pandemic is over? Now, I want you to imagine this. Right now, most businesses are cutting losses in order to save their own company. In doing so, they have made thousands and millions of jobs redundant. Of course, naturally, most companies are not going to be hiring around this time either. So now you have unemployment going up through the roof. Now let's fast forward and imagine the pandemic is now over. We can now head out and catch up with friends. We can enjoy the nature, we can go catch a movie, and we can even head to our favorite cafe. Economy is starting to build up and businesses are starting to hire again at a slow rate, but at least they are hiring. But since unemployment rate is at an all-time high previously, that also means competition for job application is going to be at an all-time high. Instead of having 100 applicants for a position, you are now going against 500 applicants instead. That means the chances of you getting that job has been drastically reduced as well. And that's because in this situation, supply outweighs demand. So in order to increase your chances, you need to stand out. And you need to stand out a lot. Take this chance to learn new skills to complement your existing skill set. And best of all, you can do this at the comfort of your own home. There are several resources available on the internet. You can try out platforms like Udemy or Skillshare, or even watch YouTube videos such as this. I've put some links down below in the description if you're interested. One additional advice I would give is try to gain new soft skills such as public speaking, presentation skills, management. These are skills that will take your career to the next level because communication is one of the most vital skills in anything you do. And most companies look for this skill set, yet there aren't that many out there who are capable of doing it. By the way, if you're loving this video and you're getting some values out of it, please press the like button now. It really helps my channel in terms of getting into the YouTube algorithm and allows more people to watch my video and gain more values out of it. Also, if you have any questions or feedback or just have something nice to say, leave me a comment down below to let me know. That will definitely make my day. Number 2, do your financial planning and review. This recession is going to go on for a long time, and depending on the industry you work in, you may or may not go back to work this year. Take me for example. Even though I run my own mobile apps business, my company also does consulting, which at this point in time contributes a large chunk in terms of company revenue. But I ended up losing the contract at the beginning of this year because I was doing consulting for a cinema. And in case you're not aware, anything related to cinemas or movies, they are put on hold indefinitely. So if no one can go to watch a movie, then the cinemas can't get money, and the first to get cut off will be people like us, the consultants. So that would definitely impact me in some way, but I have only 2 concerns. Can I still afford to pay for my mortgage, and can I still put food on the table for my family? I think ultimately, these 2 are the only things you need to survive: shelter and food. So if you're in that situation, check your bank account and start doing some calculation. How much money do you have left in your bank account, and how many more monthly rentals or loan repayments can you pay continuously? I would suggest you try your best to live on that saving for at least 8 to 12 months. Just assume you're not going to be able to get a job anytime soon. If you do not have enough money, then consider cutting down other things. If you're subscribed to Netflix or Disney Plus or any other video streaming services, then cut that off. They are not needed. Instead of having 2 bottles of beer every week, maybe consider cutting down to 1 bottle every fortnight. That is a 50% reduction. Or better yet, don't drink at all. To me, I will always put my mortgage as my top priority because I do not want me and my family to be homeless. If you can't afford the repayment, speak with your bank and see if you can negotiate something with them, like a deferred payment. If you're doing that, try asking the bank for a deferred payment with no interest, okay? Or if you are renting, try and speak with your landlord and see if you can work something out, like a reduced rent for the next couple of months. No matter what it is, look after yourself financially and start reviewing so that you do not push yourself into the corner, that dark, lonely corner. This also helps train you to manage your finance better so that in the future, if crap things that are out of your control were to happen again, you will have these huge savings you have built up and you will not be worried anymore. Try not to put yourself in this situation again and gain control of your own life. Number 3, accept the fact that a recession is happening. This also means accepting the fact that you will most likely lose your job and potentially be unemployed for a couple of months. I can't stress this enough because most people I know, they start blaming the companies for letting them go. They will say things like, the company has made a lot of money over the years and has tons of reserves. There is no way they can't hold on for a couple more months. Yes, companies do have reserves, but the reserves are meant to be used for situations like this. And I can tell you for sure, 80% of the businesses out there, especially small businesses, their reserves can only last them at most 3 months. The recession right now is different because normally during recession, business goes on as usual. It just slows down. But because this recession is caused by a global pandemic, most countries, as far as I know, are in lockdown mode. So money is no longer flowing in and companies can only rely on their own reserve because businesses is not slowing down. It completely stopped. Take airlines for example. Airlines are grounded and they're essentially making $0 every day. The only way left is to start letting their employees go. As bad as that might sound, it is the only way because it is better to let hundreds go rather than holding on for the worst, causing the company to go bankrupt and then making thousands lose their job. So if you lost your job during this economy slump, accept the reality and move on as fast as possible so that you know what to do next. If your government is providing some sort of stimulus package to help you go through these tough times, make sure you use that to your advantage. Just remember, always try to do things that not only benefits you now, but also protects you in the future. This recession is proof that things can go wrong in a matter of days, and if you are caught unprepared, you are going to go through months of agony and it feels like eternity. I always have this belief that no matter what I do, I will always put myself and my family first. Some may see it as selfish, but I don't think so. There's nothing wrong for making yourself the most important person in the world. After all, there's only one you, and the person that trusts you the most is you, so don't disappoint yourself. So that's all the tips I have for you in this video. If you like it, please tap the like button down below and leave me a comment to let me know what you have gained from this video. Also, if you have not done so yet, do consider subscribing to my channel for more videos such as this. And don't forget to check out my other videos as well. So that's it from me. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.